Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Daily English, the podcast where you improve your English listening skills through real conversations, practical lessons, and everyday stories.
Hi, everyone. We are so happy that you are joining us today. Whether you are listening while traveling, working, relaxing at home, or practicing English before starting your day, welcome to another episode of Daily English.
Before we begin today's episode, we have a small request for you. If you enjoy learning English through natural conversations, don't forget to subscribe to Daily English, turn on notifications, and join our growing community of English learners from around the world.
And if this episode helps you improve your English, please share it with someone who is also learning English. Sometimes one helpful conversation can change someone's learning journey.
Now, let's talk about today's topic. Sarah, I want to ask you something. Have you ever met someone who has been learning English for many years, but still feels like they're not improving?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Actually, this is one of the most common problems among English learners. People study vocabulary, they watch English videos, they download English apps, they buy English courses. But after months or even years, they think, why am I still not fluent?
Exactly. And sometimes this feeling can be very frustrating. You put in effort, you spend your time, you really want to improve, but the progress feels slow.
And the worst part is when you compare yourself with others. You see someone who started learning English after you, and suddenly they are speaking confidently. Then you start thinking, maybe I am not good at languages. Maybe I don't have the ability to learn English.
But today, we want to tell you something important. Your English may not be improving because you cannot learn, but because you may be making some common learning mistakes.
Exactly. Learning English is not all about working harder. Sometimes you need to change the way you learn.
In today's episode of Daily English, we will discuss why your English is not improving, the biggest mistakes English learners make, why studying more does not always mean improving faster, how to create a better English learning system, simple changes that can improve your speaking, listening, and confidence.
And remember, this is not a boring English lecture. This is a real conversation between two people who understand the struggles of language learning. So relax, listen carefully, and let's begin.
Sarah, let's start with a question. Why do so many English learners feel stuck? They study, they practice, they try, but they don't see the results they want.
I think the biggest reason is that many learners focus on activities that feel like learning, but they don't always create real improvement.
That's an interesting point. Can you explain?
Of course, imagine someone wants to become physically stronger. They buy expensive sports clothes, they watch workout videos, they read about exercise, they follow fitness influencers, but they never actually exercise.
They're preparing to exercise, but they are not exercising.
Exactly. English learning can be the same. Some people spend hours collecting information about English, but they spend very little time actually using English.
So the problem is not always effort. The problem is the direction of the effort.
Exactly. You can walk for hours, but if you are walking in the wrong direction, you won't reach your destination.
Let's talk about the first common mistake, and I think this one is extremely important. Mistake number 1, learning English without a clear goal.
Yes, many learners start studying English because they know English is important, but they don't know exactly why they want to improve.
They say, I want to learn English, but that is too general.
Exactly. A better question is, why do I want English?
Maybe your goal is, I want to get a better job. I want to study abroad. I want to travel confidently. I want to communicate with international people. I want to understand movies without subtitles.
When you have a clear reason, your brain understands why learning matters.
Let's imagine two students. Student A says, I need to learn English because everyone says English is important. Student B says, I need English because I want to apply for my dream job next year.
Who do you think will stay more motivated?
Student B, because they have a personal reason.
Exactly. A goal creates direction. Without direction, learning becomes random.
Let me share a story. I once met a student named James. James was actually very good at grammar. He knew all English tenses, sentence structures, grammar rules, exceptions. His notebook was full of grammar notes.
That sounds impressive.
It was. One day I asked him, "Tell me about your weekend." A very simple question.
What happened?
He started thinking. First, he thought about the tense. Then he thought about the sentence structure. Then he worried about pronunciation. After 30 seconds, he said, "Last weekend, I went to..." And then he stopped.
Because he was thinking too much.
Exactly. His grammar knowledge was blocking his communication.
That is a very important point. Sometimes learners don't have a knowledge problem, they have an overthinking problem. When native speakers communicate, they are not thinking, which grammar rule am I using right now? They're thinking about the message.
Exactly. When I say, "I went to the store yesterday," I'm not thinking past tense, subject plus verb to, time expression.
You were thinking, I want to tell Sarah what happened yesterday.
Right. Communication comes first. Grammar supports communication. It should not stop communication.
So, Alex, should learners ignore grammar completely?
No, that would also be a mistake. The key is balance. Use grammar as a tool. Don't make grammar your entire learning system.
For example, learn the basic grammar you need for daily conversations. Learn present simple, past simple, future expressions, questions, common sentence patterns.
Then practice using them. Instead of only studying past simple tense, create sentences: I visited my friend yesterday. I watched a movie last night. I cooked dinner.
Your brain learns through use.
Let's do a quick speaking exercise. We will give a grammar structure, then create natural sentences. The structure, I usually.
Example, I usually wake up early.
Now your turn. Complete this sentence. I usually.
Maybe you said, I usually drink coffee. I usually go for a walk. I usually study English. Great. You just practiced grammar and speaking together.
Now let's talk about another huge mistake: vocabulary.
Yes, every English learner wants more vocabulary, and vocabulary is important, but many people learn vocabulary in a way that does not help them speak.
How?
They memorize long lists. For example, amazing equals wonderful, beautiful equals attractive, necessary equals required, opportunity equals chance.
There's nothing wrong with learning meanings, but the problem is they never use the words.
Exactly. A word sitting in your notebook is not useful. A word you can use in a conversation is powerful.
Let's explain an important concept: passive vocabulary and active vocabulary.
Passive vocabulary means you recognize the word when you hear it or read it.
Active vocabulary means you can use the word naturally when speaking.
For example, you know the word improve. You understand it. That is passive knowledge.
But can you say, I want to improve my English speaking skills?
If yes, the word has become active.
So, what is the better method?
Learn words inside sentences. Don't learn confidence. Learn, I want to build my confidence. Don't learn decision. Learn, I need to make an important decision. Don't learn opportunity. Learn, this is a great opportunity for me.
Because your brain remembers situations better than isolated words.
Alex, this reminds me of something funny.
What happened?
I once knew someone who memorized hundreds of advanced English words. He was very proud.
Okay.
One day, someone asked him, "How was your day?" And he answered, "My day was magnificent, extraordinary, unbelievable, remarkable."
Wow.
Then he stopped and said, "Actually, I'm tired."
Sometimes simple English is better.
Exactly. Fluent speakers don't try to impress people with difficult words. They try to communicate clearly.
Now let's discuss something emotional, something many learners struggle with: fear.
Yes, fear of making mistakes, fear of being judged, fear of sounding different.
This fear stops many talented learners. They know what they want to say, but they stay silent.
And silence does not improve speaking. practice improves speaking.
Many learners have this mindset: I will speak when my English is perfect.
But here's the problem. Perfect English does not come before speaking. Perfect English comes through speaking.
Think about children. Children make thousands of mistakes. They say funny things. They use wrong words, but they continue.
And because they continue, they improve. If you are listening right now and you are afraid to speak English, I want you to remember something. Your mistakes are not proof that you are failing.
Your mistakes are proof that you are learning.
Every mistake means you tried. Every sentence means you practiced. Every conversation makes you stronger.
The only real failure is refusing to try.
Repeat these sentences. I am learning English every day.
I don't need to be perfect.
I improve through practice.
Mistakes help me learn.
Excellent. Remember these sentences whenever you feel nervous.
Today, we discovered 3 more mistakes focusing too much on grammar, memorizing vocabulary incorrectly, and being afraid of making mistakes.
But we still have more important mistakes to discuss. In the next part, we will talk about why listening to real English matters, why translating everything slows you down, how inconsistency destroys progress, how to create the perfect daily English routine.
Today, we discussed some of the biggest mistakes English learners make. We talked about learning English without a clear goal, focusing too much on grammar, memorizing vocabulary incorrectly, being afraid of making mistakes.
And now we're going to discuss 3 more mistakes that can secretly slow down your English progress. These mistakes are very common, but many learners don't even realize they're making them.
So let's continue.
Alex, let's start with listening. Why do you think many learners struggle to understand native speakers?
Because they often learn only from textbook English.
Exactly. Textbook English is useful, but real conversations are different.
For example, a textbook might teach, "How are you?" "I am fine, thank you."
But in real life, people say, "How's it going?" "How have you been?" "What's up?"
If you only study formal English, real conversations can feel confusing.
Exactly. Many learners say, I understand my English lessons, but I don't understand movies or native speakers.
And the reason is simple. They're not training their ears with real English.
Learning a language is like building a house. Before you build something, you need materials.
And listening gives your brain those materials.
Every conversation you hear teaches your brain pronunciation, sentence patterns, natural expressions, rhythm, tone.
The more quality English you hear, the easier speaking becomes.
Because your brain starts recognizing what sounds natural.
There's something important here. Many people think they listen to English, but actually they only hear English.
Great point. Hearing means sound enters your ears. Listening means your brain is actively paying attention.
For example, you play an English podcast while cleaning your room, but your mind is somewhere else.
That is hearing.
But if you focus on the sentences, notice new words, repeat useful phrases, that is listening.
Active listening creates improvement.
So, how can learners improve their listening skills?
I recommend a 3-step method. Step 1, listen without subtitles. First, listen naturally. Don't worry if you miss some words. Try to understand the main idea.
Step 2, listen with subtitles. Now check what you missed. Notice, what word did I not understand? What pronunciation was difficult?
Step 3, listen again and repeat. This is where improvement happens. Repeat sentences. Copy the speaker's pronunciation.
This method improves both listening and speaking.
Now let's talk about another huge problem, translation.
Yes, many learners translate every sentence from their native language into English.
For example, they want to say, I am hungry, but first their brain thinks in their own language, then they search for the English words, then they create the sentence.
And by the time they finish, the conversation has already moved forward.
Exactly. Translation makes speaking slow
But Sarah, why do learners do this?
because it feels safe. When you are a beginner, translation helps. It connects new information with something familiar.
So translation is not bad.
Correct. The problem is depending on it forever. At some point, your brain needs direct connections.
How can someone start thinking in English?
Start with simple things. Don't try to think about complicated topics. Start with your daily life. When you see a cup, think cup. When you open a door, think open the door.
When you feel tired, think, I'm tired.
You are training your brain to create English directly.
Exactly. Small thoughts create bigger language skills.
Let me give an example. Imagine you are walking outside. A person asks, "Where are you going?" A beginner translator might think, "How do I translate this answer?" Then they become nervous.
But someone who practices thinking in English can simply say, I'm going to the supermarket. I'm going home. I'm meeting my friend.
Simple, natural, effective.
Now let's discuss one of the biggest reasons people fail: inconsistency.
This one is very common. People study English for 5 hours one day, then nothing for 2 weeks.
Exactly. They depend on motivation instead of creating habit.
But languages need regular contact. Your brain needs repetition.
Imagine someone goes to the gym once a month. Will they become strong?
Probably not.
English is similar. One big study session occasionally is less powerful than small daily practice.
30 minutes every day can create better results than 5 hours once a month.
Let's create a realistic example. A learner wakes up every morning. They spend 10 minutes listening, 10 minutes speaking, 10 minutes reviewing phrases.
Only 30 minutes.
Yes, but after 1 month, they have practiced for 15 hours. After 1 year, they have practiced for more than 180 hours.
Small actions become big results.
I know some people listening today may feel disappointed. Maybe you have studied English for a long time. Maybe you feel like, I should be better by now. But please don't underestimate your progress. Sometimes improvement is happening quietly. You may understand words today that you couldn't understand before. You may speak sentences today that were impossible before.
Progress is not always dramatic. Sometimes progress is simply becoming a little better every day.
Don't quit because you are not where you want to be. Be proud because you are not where you started.
Let's practice today's useful sentences.
I am improving my English step by step.
I don't need to understand everything immediately.
I learn from my mistakes.
I practice English every day.
Great job.
Today, we learned 3 important mistakes: not listening to real English, translating everything, practicing inconsistently.
In the final part, we will create your complete English improvement plan. We will discuss the best daily English routine, a 7-day challenge, how to stay motivated, final advice for your English journey.
We have reached the final part of today's episode, why your English is not improving. Common English learning mistakes.
We discussed many reasons why English learners feel stuck. Let's quickly remember.
Mistake number 1, learning English without a clear goal.
Mistake number 2, focusing too much on grammar and not enough on communication.
Mistake number 3, memorizing vocabulary without learning how to use it.
Mistake number 4, being afraid of making mistakes.
Mistake number 5, not listening to real English.
Mistake number 6, translating everything in your head.
And mistake number 7, practicing inconsistently.
Now, the most important question is, how can we fix these problems? How can we finally improve our English?
I think, Sarah, many learners make one more mistake. They make English learning too complicated.
I agree. They search for the perfect app, the perfect course, the perfect method, but sometimes they forget the basics.
Exactly. A successful English routine does not need to be complicated. It needs to be consistent.
Let's create a simple daily system. Imagine you have only 45 minutes every day. Here is what you can do. First 15 minutes, listening practice.
Listen to English podcasts, conversations, stories, interviews. Don't just hear the words, pay attention. Notice expressions. Learn how people communicate.
This trains your ears. It helps you understand natural English.
This is the part many learners avoid. Speaking.
Yes, talk out loud, even if you are alone. Describe your day. Explain your thoughts. Summarize what you listened to.
For example, I listened to a podcast today. The main idea was this. I learned that this.
Your speaking does not need to be perfect. It needs to happen. Choose 5 useful phrases, not 50. 5.
Because remembering 5 useful phrases is better than forgetting 50 random words.
Create your own sentences. Use those phrases in your daily life.
Sarah, let's talk about repetition, because many learners underestimate it.
Yes, they learn something once and expect to remember it forever, but the brain does not work that way.
Imagine hearing a song for the first time. You may like it,
but after hearing it many times, you remember every word.
Language works similarly. The more you meet words and expressions, the stronger they become in your memory.
Another mistake learners make is expecting instant results. They think, I studied for 1 month, why am I not fluent?
But language learning is a long journey.
Think about planting a tree. You don't plant a seed today and expect a huge tree tomorrow. You water it, you take care of it, you wait.
Then one day, you realize it has grown.
Your English is the same. Every listening practice, every conversation, every new phrase, it's building something. Now we want to give everyone listening a challenge, a simple 7-day challenge. Are you ready?
For the next 7 days, follow these steps.
Day 1, introduce yourself. Say, my name is, I am from, I'm learning English because.
Day 2, talk about your daily routine. Speak about your morning, your work, your studies, your hobbies.
Day 3, describe something. Choose anything. Your room, your city, your favorite place. Describe it in English.
Day 4, share your opinion. Talk about what makes a good friend. What is your dream? What makes you happy?
Day 5, retell a story. Listen to an English story or podcast, then explain it using your own words.
Day 6, have a conversation. Speak with a friend, a language partner, yourself. Yes, speaking to yourself counts.
Day 7, reflect. Ask yourself, what improved this week? What was difficult? What will I continue?
Before we finish today's episode, I want to talk to every English learner listening. Maybe you have been learning English for months, maybe years. Maybe sometimes you feel tired. Maybe sometimes you wonder, will I ever become fluent? I understand that feeling. Learning a language can be challenging. There are days when you feel confident, and there are days when you feel like you forgot everything.
But remember something important. A bad day does not mean you are a bad learner.
A mistake does not mean you cannot improve. A slow week does not mean your journey is over.
The learners who succeed are not always the smartest learners. They are the learners who continue.
Imagine yourself 1 year from today. You are having a conversation in English. You understand people more easily. You express your thoughts with confidence. You are proud because you didn't give up.
That future version of you is created by what you do today. Not tomorrow, not next month. Today.
1 sentence today, 1 conversation tomorrow, 1 step every day. That is how fluency is built.
Before we end today, let's review today's important expressions. 1. Feel stuck, meaning to feel unable to make progress. Example, I feel stuck with my English.
2. Make progress, meaning to improve or move forward. Example, I am making progress every day.
3. Keep going, meaning continue and don't stop. Example, learning English is difficult, but I will keep going.
4. Step by step, meaning slowly and gradually. Example, I am improving my English step by step.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode of Daily English.
We hope this conversation helped you understand why your English may not be improving and what you can do differently.
Remember, don't just study English, use English.
Don't wait until you are perfect. Start today.
Listen more,
Speak more,
practice more.
and believe in yourself.
If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe to Daily English, like this podcast, and share it with another English learner.
And comment below, what is one English mistake you want to fix? We would love to hear your answer.
Keep learning,
Keep improving.
and we'll see you in the next episode of Daily English.